Be me, 25, certified average human, programmer, running on caffeine and regret. Decide to touch grass for the first time in a week. Go to some hipster coffee shop, plants hanging everywhere, walk up to counter. He asks what I want. I panic. Brain, say coffee, mouth, yes. Barista stops responding. He recommends an oat vanilla cloud latte. Sounds like a yoga move. I nod. Taste it. Immediate regret. It's like someone tried to brew sadness and added guilt foam on top. Suddenly hear someone laugh. Turn my head. Girl next to me literally choking on her drink. 10 out of 10 laugh though. She says, "You just drank emotional damage in liquid form." I say, "It's called developing character." She snorts. Feels Goodman. We start talking. She works in a flower shop. Hates orchids because they act like they're better than everyone else. I tell her I code. She says, "So basically you create problems for a living and then fix them?" Damn, she gets it. 2 hours pass somehow. Realize I haven't checked my phone once. This has never happened before. Possibly witchcraft. She finishes her coffee, stands up, says, "You're weird." I like weird. Walks away. We exchange numbers. Barista looks at me. "Dude, your software just got updated." Leave cafe smiling like an idiot. Phone buzzes. Text from her, "You owe me another coffee for emotional support." My face when I might have just met my final boss disguised as a barista heckler. Somehow scored a date with the coffee shop girl. Still don't know how. Maybe she lost a bet. Name's Alice, by the way. Texts me, "Let's do sushi." I panic because sushi equals chopsticks. Chopsticks, public humiliation. But gotta act like a functioning adult. Yeah, sure, I love sushi lol. Proceed to Google how to hold chopsticks tutorial for idiots. Day of the date. Spend 40 minutes picking an outfit that says, "I tried, but not too hard." Settle on the classic combo, clean hoodie plus jeans. I'm basically a fashion god. She shows up, wearing this light blue jacket, hair tied messy, big smile. Brain immediately forgets how to form sentences. "You look, human. I mean good. Very good human." Nailed it. We sit down. She orders confidently, like she's been a sushi warlord in a past life. I just nod and say, "Same," like a coward. Food comes. I attempt chopsticks. Hands start shaking like I'm defusing a bomb. Manage to pick up one piece. Feel like God himself. Piece slips. Lands directly in soy sauce. Splashes up like a crime scene. Soy sauce all over the table. My hoodie. Possibly my soul. Alice just stares, then laughs. "You okay, ninja?" "I meant to do that," I say, bleeding dignity. She laughs even harder. At this point, the waiter comes with extra napkins. I want to melt into the soy sauce, but somehow she doesn't run. We keep talking. She tells me random facts about flowers. Like, "Did you know tulips were once more expensive than gold?" I pretend I did. "Oh yeah, classic tulip inflation of 1637. She looks impressed. I later Google it. Turns out it's actually true. I accidentally told a fact. Confidence plus 20. Then the bill comes. I try to be smooth. "I got this." Waiter hands me the check. I stare at it for too long. Card declines. Decline sound.mp3 plays in my soul. She pays it without hesitation. "Consider it an investment," she says. Me, internally, marry me now. Walk her home after. She talks about her cat named Newton, because he fell off a shelf. I say that's scientifically accurate. She smiles. We stop outside her building. She says, "This was fun." I say, "I'll try to spill less next time." She grins. "No promises, ninja." She goes inside. I stand there for a minute, grinning like a total idiot. Text buzzes later that night. Next time, ramen, less chopstick trauma. Socially anxious programmer, dating chaotic flower girl. Relationship going great. She laughs at my jokes. I pretend to have emotional stability. Things are good. JPG. One night we're chilling on her couch. Pizza, bad movie, warm blanket. Everything's perfect. Suddenly, she gets quiet. Serious face. PNG. "Hey, I need to tell you something weird about me." My brain. Oh no, not again. Last time someone said that, it was a pyramid scheme. She sighs. "It's kinda medical, kinda complicated." I pause the movie. "Okay, hit me with the patch notes." She looks me dead in the eye. "I was born with 2 entry ports." Me, like USB ports? You could say that, she says, trying not to laugh. Brain stops responding. I just sit there like someone unplugged my consciousness. I finally manage. So, you're a dual slot model? She bursts out laughing. You're taking this way better than expected. I'm a programmer, I say. I respect redundant design. We both lose it. 10 minutes of hysterical laughter. I ask, does that mean you're technically backward compatible? She throws a pillow at me. Later, she says it doesn't really affect her much, just unusual hardware layout. I say, don't worry, I'm running beta firmware too. We spend the rest of the night joking about it like it's a sci-fi malfunction. She calls herself Limited Edition Human Version 2.0. I call her DualShock. She grins. Guess you're my primary user now. My face when I somehow turn the strangest medical confession into a rom-com. Decide to tell my best friend Mark. Terrible idea.jpg. We're at the bar. He asks how things are going. I say, she told me something kinda unusual. He raises an eyebrow. I explain the whole two-port system thing. Mistake. Mark immediately spits his drink. Laughs so hard the bartender gives us side-eye. Bro, you're dating a dual-channel motherboard. I try to tell him to keep it quiet. He nods. 5 minutes later, the group chat lights up. Yo, Jake's girl runs RAID 1, so she's USB-C or legacy port. Hot fix when? Traitor. I'm dying inside. Next time Alice and I hang out, she notices my phone blowing up. Your friends okay? I tell her they found out. Brace for impact. She reads a few of the messages, stares at me, then starts laughing so hard she nearly drops her drink. RAID 1? That's actually pretty clever. I'm shocked. I thought she'd be mad. Instead, she's fully embracing it. A few days later, my buddy Mark invites us to game night. She shows up wearing a t-shirt that says, now with dual-core support. Mark nearly chokes on his chips. I've never been more proud and terrified at the same time. From that day on, she's officially DualShock in the friend group. I'm firmware update guy. She finds it hilarious. My face when my girlfriend turned an inside joke into a whole personal brand. My face when my friends now greet her with, press start to continue. One day she says, you should come meet my parents. System alert. Panic detected. Spend 3 days preparing. Google, what to say when meeting girlfriend's parents. Half the advice is lies. One site literally says, just be yourself. Terrible plan. We drive to her parents' place. Nice house, smells like cookies and judgment. Her mom opens the door. Friendly smile, but eyes of a boss level NPC. Dad's behind her. Looks like the kind of guy who fixes cars with duct tape and raw intimidation. Sit down for dinner, mom made lasagna. 10 out of 10, would code a review app just to rate it. Conversation starts fine. Small talk, weather, work. Dad asks what I do. I'm a programmer. So you break things for a living? Pretty much. He nods. Respect unlocked. Halfway through dinner, mom says, so how did you two meet? Alice, he drank the worst coffee of his life. Me, worth it. They laugh. Okay, maybe I'll survive this. Then Dad starts showing me his projects in the garage. Entire room filled with half-finished inventions. There's a toaster attached to a drill. What does it do? I ask. Nothing yet, he says proudly. Mad lad. Later, Mom brings dessert. Somehow she's made 3 pies just in case. This woman is running a pie-based economy. We're sitting there, everything's calm. Then Dad asks, so son, I hear you've been calling her DualShock? Alice's eyes go wide. I nearly choke on apple pie. Mark told me, he says. Traitor detected. I stammer some half explanation about tech nicknames and inside jokes. He just grins. You know, I built her first computer when she was 12. Guess it stuck. Everyone laughs, crisis averted. Good thing he didn't get the meaning of the nickname. Later that night, as we're leaving, Mom hugs me. You're good for her, she says. Drive home. Alice smiles. Told you they'd like you. I'm still not sure your dad isn't planning to upgrade me to version 2.0. She laughs. Maybe he'll add Bluetooth. Dating Alice for almost a year now. Relationship running smoother than Windows 98 on fresh install. Get invited to group hangout with all my friends. Everyone's chill, pizza boxes, soda, bad jokes. What could possibly go wrong? Mark starts talking. Always Mark.wav. So tell everyone your girlfriend's special feature, dude. I try to shut him up. Too late. He drops the DualShock nickname in front of everyone. Entire room freezes. Someone asks, why DualShock? Alice, absolute legend, doesn't even blink. Because I vibrate when anxious. Room explodes in laughter. Mark falls off the couch. I'm both horrified and proud. Next day, there's a meme in the group chat. Photo of a PlayStation controller with her face photoshopped on it. Caption, press X to date. She thinks it's hilarious. Sets it as her profile picture. A week later, the meme somehow escapes into the wider internet. Mutual friends, co-workers, random classmates start referencing it. I hear a guy at work say, bro, DualShock energy. He doesn't even know Alice. Panic, I tell her. She just laughs. Guess I'm trending, huh? Next weekend, she doubles down. Shows up to movie night wearing a t-shirt that says Firmware 1.0, do not modify. Mark nearly aspirates on popcorn. She owns the joke so hard that everyone stops teasing. The meme becomes wholesome somehow. My face when she turned potential social disaster into brand management. My face when my girlfriend basically speed ran public relations. 10 out of 10 PR campaign. DualShock Incorporated officially IPO ready. 1 year into relationship with Alice. Still amazed she hasn't uninstalled me yet. She says she has a doctor's appointment, routine checkup, nothing dramatic, asks if I want to come along for moral support. Translation, carry her bag and make jokes in the waiting room. Sitting there, surrounded by magazines from 2009. Nurse calls Alice in. Boyfriend can come if he wants. Panic.wav. I follow anyway. Doctor is this older guy, super professional, polite, calm, glasses that make him look like he's seen things. They talk medical jargon for 10 minutes straight. I'm just nodding like I understand. He asks some basic questions. Alice answers easily. Then he looks at her file, tilts his head. Ah, right. You have that unusual configuration. My curiosity activates. Unusual configuration? Like BIOS settings? Doctor actually chuckles. You could say that. Alice face palms. Please don't encourage him. They keep talking, all normal stuff. Everything's fine, she's healthy. I manage not to make a single inappropriate pun for 5 whole minutes. Personal record unlocked. Appointment ends, we walk out. She sighs. You were surprisingly normal. I'm saving my energy for the parking lot, I say. We reach the car. I open the door like a gentleman, trip over the curb, almost die. She's laughing so hard she can't breathe. Says, doctor should have checked your balance system. Rest of the day, coffee, bad music, peace restored. My face when even hospitals can't break the comedy routine. My face when health all green. Dating Alice for almost 2 years. Somehow still not deleted from her system. Realize I actually love her more than coffee or working Wi-Fi. Time to install proposal. Spend weeks planning. Google how to propose without looking like a YouTuber. Decide to do it our way. Funny, buy ring, hide it inside a tiny game controller keychain. Yes, really. Practice speech in front of mirror. Sound like malfunctioning robot. Delete speech, improvise plan instead. Take her back to the same coffee shop where we met. Same barista somehow, still there. He recognizes us, says, you two still running? No crashes yet, I answer. Sit at the same table. Order the same terrible latte for nostalgia. She laughs, remembering the first day. Perfect moment. I hand her the keychain. Limited edition DualShock, I say. Comes with lifetime warranty, if you'll keep me installed. She stares, realizes what's happening. Eyes water. That's the nerdiest proposal in history. So, is that a yes? Obviously yes. Everyone in cafe claps. Barista gives free muffins for the patch notes. Months later, we get married. Friends show up wearing shirts that say, press start to continue. She walks down the aisle grinning like it's all one big inside joke. My face when the bug became a feature. My face when love officially left beta. Now, 30, 2 cats, 1 mortgage, 0 stability. Wake up every day to her making coffee that still tastes like sadness. She says it's nostalgia flavor. Barista from that first cafe came to our wedding and still texts, how's uptime? Mark's the godfather of our cat. Group chat still calls her DualShock. Sometimes we look at each other mid-argument and just start laughing. Because none of it should have worked. 2 awkward humans. Infinite bugs. But somehow, no crash since install.